Rolling? Yeah. All right, cool. Well, welcome to another episode of Self-Developed Life. My name is Quinton Carlin here today with Edward Rivera.
What's going on?
Welcome. Well,
cheers.
Thanks for sharing your time here today. And our topic today is how to grow Instagram accounts and become a social media influencer. And the benefits of that are things that you just experienced and had 2 weeks paid sponsored trip in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of go over how he got started and how to build up Instagram accounts and doing some social media photography and capitalizing and monetizing on it. So maybe just get started a little bit about how you got started and what you've been up to and what you're currently doing.
All right, so basically it's like a new endeavor for me. It's literally only been a year that I started my media company, pretty much photography media company. I was studying in Bangkok. I was doing a master's program, and I met a whole bunch of people from Europe, so a couple Americans, some people from Australia, and they were 10 years younger than me.
Sure.
Doing their bachelor's degree, and I was doing my master's degree, and most of them were all business majors. So I befriended most of them, and I just started to realize that they were all part of these new startup companies in Bangkok, and this was something that I never did when I was in my university days. So I wanted to know what was the difference between my educational system when I was going to university and theirs. And basically what I realized is when we were born, we didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
And it later became implemented in our lifestyles as just chat room. Mm-hmm. Let's play some video games online. We didn't really know the potential of the internet. Yeah. And that was never integrated in any of our educational systems. But the new generations now, internet is basically implemented in all of their curriculums.
And day one, yeah.
Yeah, since day one, they were born with it. And I realized the full potential of the internet now is how easy it is to network compared to when we were going to school.
You have to write letters.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I remember writing notes. My first girlfriend would always write me these handwritten notes and fold them up and put them in my locker, Now it's text messages, so.
Yeah, it was incredible. And I was seeing these kids that were literally 10 years younger than me just having all these opportunities.
Yeah.
And, there was a little bit of jealousy there, but it was more of motivation, because I'm why didn't I take advantage of that? And then I said, well, why shouldn't I do it now?
Yeah, exactly.
So, so a friend of mine, actually two people that I know that I went to school with in Bangkok, one was doing blogs and vlogs while he was in Bangkok, and he had, I think, when I met him, 20,000 followers, subscribers on YouTube, which is a lot, but now he has over 200,000.
Yeah.
And it's been a year since I met him, and he's everywhere online now. You search him up. He's on the Unilad Adventure and all this stuff. So I guess
what's his name?
His name is Christian LeBlanc. His handle is Lost LeBlanc, and he does a lot of
Christian LeBlanc.
Yeah,
there you go.
Shout you out. But yeah, he does blogs.
And he's doing that full time, that's his gig.
Yeah, so he basically was an accounting major, I believe. He went back to Canada after Bangkok, and he got a really good job apparently, and he just wasn't into it.
Yeah.
He loved what he was doing with traveling, and he decided to quit his job and do quit the 9 to 5.
Right.
And just go and start vlogging full time. And he literally, he bought a drone, he had some cameras, went out to Thailand again. He loved Thailand, so he started doing these vlogs, and people started to see his content, and they were just giving him sponsorships to use their products.
Yeah.
And then another friend of mine as well bought a drone, and he went that route with the drone and started making films with drones. And then I was like, that's fun. I've been taking photos and taking pictures since 2007 when I first left the United States to study abroad. I was like, I've been doing this for years, but I never capitalized on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I basically just took a hobby that I've been doing for years, and just decided to capitalize on my hobby, and now it's become something that I've grown into like a successful, a successful like small business right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I do. I go and travel, and I don't blog or vlog, but I'm starting that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm mostly creating content for hotels, resorts, events.
Well, yeah, let's just talk about that, because you just had 2 weeks. We were hanging out like literally 2 weeks ago, and you're like, I'm going to Sri Lanka tomorrow.
Yeah.
For like a all expensive paid flight, hotel. Your hotel room was like $800 a night.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
And they just basically paid you to go there and take videos and drone videos of their resort to help them do some online media promotion for them.
Yeah, it's actually interesting how that all worked out. So I think it was October last year where I started to really build my Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had an Instagram account for like 2 years, had like 100 followers, didn't take it seriously. It was just, everyone had it. I didn't really like Instagram because I was like all about photography, and I felt like filters were like a way of cheating.
Right, yeah.
And I kind of mocked Instagram for a while. But then when I started doing the research about like networking and marketing, it's such a great marketing tool. So I took advantage of it, and I was at like only 300 followers for months, and I was like, why ain't I growing? I have like this great content, but there's so much to Instagram that you have to research, like anything.
So maybe let's get into it. So how did you go from 300 to, you've got 2 accounts now up over 30,000?
Yeah, so I have 2 accounts right now. Combined, they're about 45,000 followers.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that happen, going from 300 people to almost 50,000 people?
So I started networking on Instagram, searching for people that are in the same genre as me, as like travel bloggers.
Sure.
And I just asked them what they were doing. And the more people I asked, I would get like little tricks, little tips here and there. But then I met someone that was like, listen, we can do a collaboration, but I have a way to let Instagram work for you.
Sure.
And he told me about how the algorithms work for Instagram, and how people actually see your accounts, and how people are connected to you not by popularity, but if I'm following someone, how do I make my account more visible to people that want to search for travel? So Instagram allows you to post up to 30 hashtags. Most people hashtag like Instagood, Instalove, all the most popular hashtags, but it's the worst thing to do because it's so saturated.
So maybe explain what you were telling me before, how you want to get on like the first page of like the 9 spots.
Yeah. So if you click a hashtag, each hashtag has top 9 photos. They have top 9 photos. Usually when you go to a hashtag, you don't search all the photos. You see those top 9. How do you get on those top 9? So basically, you have to look at how many likes your photos get on average. For example, if you get 100 likes a photo, you look for hashtags that have the top 9 photos at an average of 50 to 150 likes, so that if your photo gets to 100 likes, it will automatically post in the top 9 because you've already broken that threshold of how many likes for that popular hashtag. So if you do that with 30 hashtags, and you have 30 hashtags that have you in the top 9, you're more susceptible to getting recognized by people that don't even follow you. Mm-hmm. So they'll see your photo, they click it, and then they realize, oh, he has a lot of really creative photos. I want to follow this person.
Right.
And that's how you start like this chain reaction of like organic followers.
Yeah.
Because followers aren't really important on Instagram. It's the engagement that you have with those followers, and how much time they're putting into liking your photos, commenting on your photos, and what we discussed earlier about saving photos.
Yeah.
Because they implemented that new, it's a new thing. Instagram is always implementing new things, and they're always experimenting with new things. And the algorithm, like I said, it changes to help.
Well, one of the big changes I've noticed with the algorithm was going from posting kind of chronologically from all of your followers to now systematically looking at the ones that you engage in most content in, or most comments with, or likes and stuff, and then they pop up first. So it's kind of, they're kind of doing what Facebook did with, like, like having your, friends list, people that you're in contact, communication with the most, and then ranking them. And a lot of people I saw complaining about that, because now a lot of people, they don't see all the posts in their feed anymore of people they follow if they weren't engaging with them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like I was saying, if you have a friend that doesn't follow me, but he's into travel, he writes travel in the search engine, because you're connected to me, he sees me first. Yeah. Which I think is a great thing. Yeah. Because it allows people, it's not a popularity contest. It allows people that are creative, that don't have that much, leverage on Instagram, to be found. Yeah. So I think it's a great thing that they do. Hopefully they don't change it, because I know Facebook did buy Instagram. Yeah. They also bought some other things, and I know on Facebook they make you pay for, I guess, what is it, like, if you want sponsorship? Yeah, if you want your post sponsored, you have to pay for it. You can still do that on Instagram, but right now everything works in favor of the person using it, whereas everything is profitable for Facebook if you use Facebook.
And one of the big hacks and kind of systems to kind of beat the system, what you're talking about and what we're kind of collaborating on with the pods. Yeah. Maybe go into that, about how you can kind of team up with other people and kind of help rank the photos to kind of get that viral effect you're talking about for the Explore. That's a pretty big Insta hack.
Yeah, so you have to look at Instagram as a community. I mean, that's the most successful Instagrammers are people that literally speak to the people that are following them. So what I've done this week is I've created, simply just asking people if they wanted to be in an engagement pod or just an engagement group. And what that is, on Instagram, you can have up to 15 people in a group, and you say, listen, we're going to focus on only travel photos, or you just get people that are doing travel, and you say, every day, once a day, we're going to post one of our photos to the pod, and then everyone comments, likes, follows, and then what I've learned recently is the save button on Instagram. You save their photo, and because that data is collected by Instagram, if your photo is liked and commented on and saved at a certain amount of times within the first hour of it being... Alright, so basically what I was saying about going viral, on Instagram, if you go to the Explore page, you see a whole bunch of content from random people you probably don't even know. In the pods, if you comment and like and save the photos within the first hour of being posted, you're more likely to get your photo put into the Explore page on Instagram. And basically everyone on Instagram will see that. Anybody will see it. So there's millions and millions of people on Instagram, and that's the best way to go viral, to see your photo in your Explore page, and then people will just click it and then decide whether they want to follow you or not. So I would definitely say that creating these pods, these engagement pods.
And by pod, you mean basically like a group chat.
A group chat, basically.
So like in the DMs on Instagram, you could add people in, just like Facebook has, like, group chats, and create a pod up to 15 people. So that's what we mean by talking about a pod. Yeah. And that's a way to rank and boost the engagement. And anytime someone posts, they can post it in the pod, and then basically people like click over to their account, comment, like, and then that boosts the engagement for the filters and algorithm. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Do you think a lot of people are doing that?
I just recently heard about it today, actually. So I'm sure like avid Instagram users that do this research, they know about it. I'm sure they've been doing it. But every day, the more research you do on these like social media platforms, there's always these groups of people that are so diehard into it that they find these tips and tricks. And it's a good way to actually monetize your account. I mean, if you have that information and no one knows about it.
Well, let's talk. What are some of the ways someone could monetize a big following list?
Okay, so
to build, like the reason why people are building up these accounts?
Yeah, so it depends if you want to like brand your account. Like if you are an actual clothing company and you just use Instagram as your marketing strategy because you're not paying for advertisement. Basically, you're just it's word of mouth or the fact that you're going viral and your clothes speak for themselves, and you're monetizing your account because you're giving yourself free marketing.
Yeah.
And everything that you get out of that is all profit.
Okay. So people that have a brand to promote their products or service.
So in the best case for myself, going from like 300 followers to 10,000 followers in 6 months, less than 6 months, I've seen myself get sponsorships. For example, I work with drones. I work with Canon cameras and DJI Phantom 3 drones. You need to get like filters for your drone to like polarizing filters to like block out sun so there's no glare. Companies have reached out to me and given me these free filters. Mm-hmm. There's companies that have these it's called Loom Cube. It's basically this cube that you can put on a drone or like on a GoPro, and you can actually dive with it up to like 30 feet, I believe, and it's waterproof.
It gives off light.
It gives off light. Yeah. Like I got 2 of those for free. Like the company gave me those to use, and then if I ever use it on a photo, I could just post it on Instagram, and it gives them free word of mouth advertisement.
Sure.
But it also promotes my page as well, and then gives me like cool things to use to like make my pictures better. So that's how I kind of use my account to not necessarily monetize, but to get free stuff. Who doesn't like free stuff?
Yeah. There's a lot of that, in the whole influencers market where companies will have them want to do like a sponsored ad. Like I see a lot of these people that I follow on Instagram, and it'll say they'll be there with like a picture of like some like protein bottle or something, and then it's like ad at this other company Whey or something. Get your 15% discount. So I think that these sponsored influencers are becoming a new way of companies to market and advertise because, social media, I've been saying it for a long time, is becoming the new media. Like people are like this all day instead of watching TV. It's just a big shift happening. Yeah,
definitely. Also, ways of monetization. The more you use Instagram, the more you learn, kind of like what we're doing now. I'm talking about all my experiences. Mm-hmm. This is based on what I've implemented on my own Instagram, so I'm telling people what I've done. Mm-hmm. This is all pretty much like legit stuff that I've done, I've used myself, and I'm giving this out and telling you about it. With the hashtag such and such, the strategies of like liking, commenting, making pods. Mm-hmm. This is stuff that I use myself, so I endorse that to use.
What about some of those bots and stuff like that you see around?
Oh, like Instagram and stuff like that?
I don't really know.
There are some bots that you can use that will... Basically, you can create filters for who you're looking for, who you're looking to attract. Now, Instagram has been cutting down on that hard. Mm-hmm. Like, there was a program, it's just a website, it's like instagrass.com, where you'd link your account to it, and then you put all these filters, say, I want to look for people that post daily, I want to like their posts every time they post a new post, I want to like it immediately, I want to follow this amount of people per day, and unfollow people that don't follow me back, and it would just do this for 24 hours, for however many months you had a subscription for. Now, you got to be careful with that. Because if you are not paying attention to those people that are following you and the ones that you followed through the bot, it's just going to make your account look really, really fake. I try to at least comment back to everyone that comments on my photos to show that I'm generally a real person.
Sure.
So I would say, they will make you grow quickly, but the faster you grow, the more time you have to put in your account, because there's going to be so many people wanting advice from you, and wanting to ask you questions. And I would say, like, if you're going to use a bot like that, make sure that you have the time to address everyone, at least if they have questions, or these people are looking up to you now. Like, seriously, I've seen people people have messaged me and they're like, I love your work. How do you do this? How do you do that? And if you don't want to talk to these people, then you're in the wrong field. Like, you have to give these people, it's like a people business.
Well, like you said, yeah, it's like a big community and about networking and building relationships and just, like it's big. Curious of your, Instagram just recently rolled out their stories.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on implementing with those?
Insta stories?
Yeah.
I think if you're going to do Insta stories, you should put that on your detail page, because I think that people like to know if you're going to be doing Insta stories, so they know that if they follow you, they're going to get daily content like that. I think Insta stories are great.
Yeah.
People use Snapchat all the time.
I've never downloaded it. I still don't really get it.
But that's the thing, though. I don't like Snapchat because I think
I've never used it.
it's just another app to like take up space.
Yeah.
When you have Instagram, it's so much more dynamic, because you can post stuff, you get the interactions, you get the engagement, and now you can do a Snapchat thing with Instagram. And I feel like it's with the new live feature, because you can do the live. I think you've done it before a couple times.
I've only done Facebook Live. I've never done.
Okay, so like Instagram has that live feature, and you just sit there and say you're like hanging out on a beach, and you're like, oh, I just want to see what my followers are doing, and let my followers see what I'm doing. Because if you're a travel enthusiast and you have the opportunity to share what you're doing live to the followers, that's going to keep them loyal. They're interested in your life. They're interested in what you're doing, and they're doing this because they want motivation to see someone that they've been following from 300 followers to 10,000 to see how they've progressed. And I think the live addition to the Insta story is great. Yeah, I think it's awesome. I haven't used it much, but the times that I have used it, it's really interactive. I just wish they would upgrade it a little bit to have a more interactive experience with your followers, because it's just me talking to my phone and I have to read everyone's comments.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
That's kind of what Facebook Live is like.
Yeah,
too.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a delay sometimes, so I don't know.
What's your thoughts on? What was I going to say? Oh, the thing that you mentioned that you told me a while back, that in your description, it's actually quite important what keywords you put in.
Yeah.
Because that actually affects the algorithm of people searching your content as well. So when it says your name, and then it gives you, I don't know, like maybe 20 words or something you can put in there, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, so you make a username for Instagram, and then there's another bold section where it's just
profile.
Yeah, profile, and some people just put their name again. And that was a mistake I did in the beginning. I put, for example, my Instagram for my drone photography is Aerial Aspects. So my username was Aerial Aspects, and then my profile name was Aerial Aspects. I basically wasted an opportunity to be noticed, because in that area, for example, now I have drone photography, or like world traveling, #1 world traveling drone or something like that. It's just basically a spot to put in keywords that people will most likely look for. So if I'm doing drone photography, I want to put the word drone in that area. Or if I'm doing travel photography with drones, I want to put travel, drone, anything like that, so that anytime someone writes that word in the search engine, my Instagram will be like the first to pop up.
Yeah, so it's a keyword. Make it keyword rich. Make it keyword rich, like SEOs. Yeah, SEO. So if you're like a musician, you can put musician, guitarist, artist, blogger, whatever. Just make a keyword rich, like trying to rank in Google or something like that. One important question: how many times should people post a picture?
Maximum 2 times, but I wouldn't do more than once a day.
Once a day, yeah.
Once a day, and I'm glad you brought that up, because it's not only about how many posts you put; it's timing. So we're in Korea right now. Most of my followers are in America, and like England, Canada, right? So I wake up 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to post anything, because everyone in America is probably going to go to sleep, or like winding down from their day. So they're probably not looking at Instagram. Most people look at Instagram during lunch break, as soon as they wake up. I know every day I wake up, my first thing and when I take my phone is, it's not even Facebook anymore, it's Instagram. Because it's like a business thing for me. So I look at how my post did overnight while I was sleeping. I post around, depending on what time of year it is, because the hours change, around 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. in Korea time, so that I know everyone back home in the States is waking up, and the first thing they do when they see Instagram, my post pops up.
Okay.
And it's like it's a great strategy to do that. It's like either that time or like lunchtime or like anytime they're like at work during a break. But I've had the most success with posting early in the morning for my key constituent, which is like people in the U.S. when they're waking up at 9 o'clock. I'm posting at night, so that when they wake up, they see it first thing in the morning.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, interesting. Because I've read different articles about when is a good time to post, and for me, I just whatever I'm doing, whenever I'm out, if I just want to throw something up. And how about linking photos from Instagram to Facebook? Because now they're down there, they have that feature to share photo. Do you think that you get more reach and organic stretch if you? I've heard different things that if you want to get more reach on Facebook, you should just upload it to Facebook itself, not go through Instagram. But what's your thoughts on that?
So for my aerial aspects page, I always link my photos from Instagram to my Facebook account, but I only do it just so I don't have to do it separately. For me, my Facebook account only has like 300 subscribers, and that's because Facebook has made it really difficult for people to find you organically. Like people can't they have to have a reason to search for me, and they had to maybe seen my video randomly on someone's wall to even know that I exist, because Facebook wants to make money. And obviously they want to make money because it's a free service, Facebook, so they have to make money in a certain way, and one of it is like promoting people's pages, business pages. So I don't really necessarily think that posting my photos, linking my photos from Instagram to Facebook creates any more of a stream of followers. I just think it's convenient so that I don't have to post it separately.
Gotcha. Yeah,
that's my opinion.
Cool. Any last things to wrap up?
Oh, let me just talk about Sri Lanka. I didn't really say anything.
I mean, you were there for 2 weeks. Let's hear what.
And it's a good story of how it happened. So it was Instagram that got me this trip. When I started growing my Instagram, I spoke to this guy who was a travel blogger as well, and he told me all these tips and tricks that I implemented. And he's like, listen, like, it's going to benefit you in the long run, because think about it, you're going to probably get sponsored by someone. And I was like, oh, that's cool, that's what I want to do. And I started getting these sponsorships here and there, like lenses and like filters and whatnot, and people wanted to like send me free gear, whatever. But the best thing so far that has happened through Instagram was a woman contacted me, and she saw that I was already going to go to Sri Lanka, and she's like, I'm from Sri Lanka, but I'm based in London, and I do tours. And I just thought she was trying to sell me a tour. But she did write me up an itinerary after I told her what I wanted to do. She did it free and everything. I was like, cool, great. And she was like, you should go here, here, and here. This is why you shouldn't go there, because it's not the peak season, and it's not going to be good. She's like really, really helpful. And then I said, do you have any contacts with some hotels out there that I could probably trade my content? Like, I can make content for this hotel, and maybe I can get some like free accommodation here and there. And she's like, yeah. So what she did was she emailed me, and then she connected the email to the actual marketing, the guy that controls the marketing for the hotel. And he's like, yeah, I saw your videos on Instagram. I loved your content. We would love for you to come stay with us at our hotel and make videos for us. And I was like, this is what I can provide for you. Where are you located? He's like, we have 4 locations. And I was like, I'll do all 4 locations, but I have to stay at your hotel for free. And he's like, yeah, no problem. We'll give you free accommodation for however long you want. And I ended up saying like,
I'll stay here forever.
Yeah. I was like 3 to 4 days in each location, pretty much free meals, like breakfast and stuff, but it was like really cheap to eat anyway. But yeah, I stayed for 2 weeks in Sri Lanka. Literally spent $300 total.
And they paid for your flight too, right?
Yeah.
So they paid for your flight and 2 weeks in nice like accommodation.
Yeah.
4 or 5 star hotel.
Yeah, it was
like that, like
awesome.
really nice
It was
hotels.
awesome. You can see the photos of the hotels on my Instagram account. I'm still in the process of putting together all the footage. I'm making them like an advert for 2 of their locations. So I'll probably have that up within the next month or so. So 2 videos within the next month or so.
I'll have your link profile down below the show notes here. So yeah, that was super awesome, man. Like I remember like about 5 years ago, I did a video when I was in Boracay, and my first trip to the Philippines, and I just put it up. And it's got, I think, almost a couple 100,000 views on YouTube now. And I remember like shortly after I posted it, I got hit up on YouTube, and like I never really checked my YouTube like inbox and stuff. And I just saw I had all these messages from like these local Filipino people being like, thank you for promoting our island, it's so great, happy you had a good time. And then there's one woman, she's like, we want to fly you back here to be a judge for this beauty pageant. Like it was like a Valentine's Day, like I don't know, in the Philippines Valentine's Day is like a huge thing. And they're like, we want to do like a beauty pageant and have you as like the guest honorary judge. So we're going to fly you back here. And I was like, that's crazy. I'm like, sure, that sounds great. So just like things like this, opportunities happen when you put content out. You never really know what's going to happen. Yeah. And sounds like it's kind of like the start of a very interesting and exciting adventure and career for you. Yes. And now you're moving to China because you're talking about there's a lot more opportunity in China
to film, and the landscape dynamic changes everywhere you go. So there's more content to create there. But also the cool thing about what happened with Sri Lanka is that I have the contact with that woman, and she just told me that she will be going to Indonesia. Alright, so basically, putting out content, the benefit of that is the more content you put out and the more you implement those tricks that we were talking about, opportunities come. And it's all about consistency and patience. Basically, for the past year, I've been having a lot of success getting sponsorships, and with the whole Sri Lanka thing, that opens new doors to other potential jobs with hotels, because that contact that I made, she has her prerogatives of getting business clientele for her tour company. Knowing that I create content, she can pitch that to other people. And like I said, she's now creating contracts with connections in Bali and other parts of Indonesia. And we've already had conversations about setting me up with other hotel chains. So that's a good connection that I made through Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, sky's the limit. Everyone's on Instagram. Social media is everywhere. Love it, hate it. It's not only the future, it's the now. Get set up, and like you said, put stuff out there. Doors open, and why not? So I think that's a good message to kind of wrap up on. That if you're a photographer, you have a brand or a business of any sort, or else just something to kind of like, a collage of your trips or travels. It's just like a cool thing, and you can reach out, connect with other people, and it'll be interesting to see where this goes in the future with their collaborations with other platforms. So, man, awesome.
Cheers.
Thanks so much for your time. Been very interesting. Good luck in your next adventure in China. It sounds like Bali. Maybe I'll see you in Bali this winter. Do some drone footage of me catching some surf.
Yeah,
and,
awesome.
Uluwatu. So thanks for tuning in to this episode, guys. Leave some comments, questions below. Always love to reach out and connect. So appreciate that. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Cool.